to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, diplomatic affairs. My name is Harriet Nati. The show comes off every Saturday between the hours of 4:20 and 5:20 p.m. on Pan-African Television. We are also global via our social media platforms, YouTube and Facebook. You can always catch up with us and get to know what is happening when it comes to all the issues trending in the world of diplomacy and international relations. I will be bringing you all the stories that are making headlines on this edition of Diplomatic Affairs, and when we come back from the break, I shall bring you all the details. Now, to begin with, Ghana and Brazil deepen maritime cooperation in Gulf of Guinea. Namibia also marks 35 years of independence, and Denmark celebrates 176th Constitution Day right here in Ghana. German embassy also commemorates 836th anniversary of Port of Hamburg, and Ghana finally signs visa-free travel deal with Morocco. And of course, when it comes to tourism diplomacy, we are still focusing on Africa's Travel Indaba. And we were there to capture all the adventure, so you will get to know what happened on the ground through our lenses. My name is Harriet Nati. I'll take a break. When I come back, I have all the details. Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nati. Now, to our first story, let's talk about Ghana and Brazil bilateral relations, and we are focusing on maritime diplomacy. Now, the Gulf of Guinea naval exercise, GINEX, led by the Brazilian Navy since 2021, continues to enhance regional maritime security. Ghana's participation underscores its commitment to joint training, interoperability, and diplomatic collaboration with Brazil and, of course, other regional partners in addressing security challenges in the Gulf.
I take this opportunity to reaffirm that Brazil is committed to promoting maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea, a region of great relevance for international trade, regional stability, and sustainable development of our countries. Collaboration between our navies through exercises such as GINEX is essential to face challenges such as piracy, illicit trafficking, and illegal fishing. In the field of defense, I highlight that the West African coast is part of the Brazilian strategic environment, as provided for in our national defense policy. Brazil recognizes the vital importance of this region for the security and prosperity of the countries bordering the South Atlantic. It is worth remembering that 95% of Brazilian foreign trade is transported by the Atlantic Ocean. GINEX goes beyond a joint military operation. It is a concrete expression of the spirit of collaboration and mutual trust between nations that share the waters of the South Atlantic. For the Brazilian Navy, GINEX represents a unique opportunity to strengthen operational capabilities, implement the exchange of knowledge and experiences, and above all, deepen the ties of friendship with sister navies in West Africa, namely with Cape Verde, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Nigeria, São Tomé and Príncipe, Cameroon, as well as Ghana. This is the second time that a Brazilian Navy ship has used the Port of Tema to carry out its operation. The first was last year, and the choice of Ghana as one of the docking ports has proven very successful. On behalf of the Brazilian government, I reinforce the sincere desire that Ghana will be a constant presence in future editions of GINEX, further consolidating cooperation between our armed forces. Brazil, which is known as the most African country outside of Africa, gives special priority to this continent, and a particularly dynamic moment in the relations between the two sides of the Atlantic.
The defense cooperation between Ghana and Brazil has gone far. Many years ago, we used not to have a defense section in Brazil, but I do know that about 4 years ago, a defense section was established in Brasilia, and that tells you the sort of cooperation, military cooperation that we wish to establish with Brazil. So I will, at this juncture, ask that if it is possible, we could have some of our naval cadets train in Brazil. Of course, there will be a language barrier, but Ghanaians are quite sharp enough to learn a language within 1 year in order to pursue that course. So if they do offer us that opportunity, I'm sure we'll gladly welcome it. We do know what ships can do, especially men of war, in what we call naval diplomacy. With the presence of this ship here, I'm sure if there are any pirate attack groups anywhere, they will start advising themselves. So their presence here is basically to also add to the maritime security of the Gulf of Guinea states. And above all, to share some kind of capacity and an experience through the exercises we'll be having with them. I am told that there will be a passage exercise with them, with one of our ships when they are about to leave in. And I wish them well wherever they are going back to. I don't know the next port of call, but I'm told it's Nigeria. I wish them well on their passage back, and then their final voyage back to Brazil.
Let's talk about Namibia's 35 years of independence, and we have been following them. Of course, we are very excited when it comes to national days concerning the various missions. The Namibian High Commission in Ghana commemorated the country's 35th Independence Day anniversary under the theme Beyond 35 for a prosperous future. The celebration also doubled as a farewell for former High Commissioner of Ghana, Selma Ashipala Musavi, now Namibia's Minister of International Relations. The event reaffirmed the strong ties that exist between Ghana and Namibia.
Namibia's narrative for its national liberation struggle is closely intertwined with Ghana's solid Pan-African stance. Our two countries have excellent historical relations that have and will continue to stand the test of time. Diplomatic relations between Namibia and Ghana have remained excellent and are flourishing. Through our Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation, we have continued to strengthen these relations, including exchange of high-level visits. To pursue our bilateral relations and trade, we will pay close attention to these 7 top priorities areas, including investment, green hydrogen, oil and gas, tourism and services, as these are key economic enablers with untapped potential. I wish to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the government and people of this great country for the support and cooperation I received during my tenure. To me, Ghana is home away from home.
Namibia's progress over the past 35 years stands as a testament to resilience for many across the continent, under the leadership of the President Nandi Netua, Namibia is steadfastly charting its course towards a future of prosperity, driven by innovation in green hydrogen, oil and gas, agriculture, youth empowerment, and robust democratic governance. We take pride in growing collaboration between our two countries. We commend your steadfast commitment to advancing priority sectors such as youth development, agriculture, and education, which also align closely with Ghana's national transformation agenda. We further welcome your engagement with the Ghanaian business community and reaffirm our readiness to explore broader avenues of cooperation in strategic sectors, including energy, tourism, and infrastructure in pursuit of our mutual interests.
Congratulations are in order for the appointment of the former High Commissioner of Namibia to Ghana as she ascends to a new level of leadership. We are very proud of her. So moving away from Namibia, let's take you all the way to Denmark. The Danish Embassy right here in Accra commemorated 176th Constitution Day, and we have been very busy running along trying to get all the images just for you. It was also the last time that the Danish ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Tom Noring, is actually going to be involved in any activity when it comes to Denmark and Ghana bilateral relations. The Danish community in Ghana marked Denmark's 176th Constitution Day, led by outgoing Ambassador Tom Noring. Now, the celebration emphasized economic cooperation, with the ambassador expressing gratitude for the support received during his 5-year tenure in Ghana.
I think I'm gonna let it go. Looks like I'm not allowed to get old. I think I'm gonna let it go. Looks like I'm not allowed to get old. I think I'm gonna let it go. Looks like I'm not allowed to get old.
Denmark and Ghana playing on the same team in support of multilateralism. Two great countries who are more than pulling their weight in defending and fighting for democracy and international law. Denmark also launched a strategy for strengthened engagement with the African continent, with African countries. In line with this strategy, the Danish embassy in Ghana and most of our other embassies on this continent are growing in staffing, in engagements, and in funding. I'm very proud to note in this connection that equal partnerships are already at the very core of every engagement that Denmark has here in Ghana. After 5 years in Ghana, this is my last National Day speech. And allow me please to take you all hostage for a few minutes to reflect upon my time here. I will start out by saying, from my heart, that it's been an incredible experience to be an ambassador here in the land of what I call gold and honey. The abundance of natural resources, fertile grounds, and youthful and talented human capital in this country is striking. But I must also admit that over the last 5 years, it has saddened me a lot to see Ghana's vast potential remaining untapped.
Denmark's steadfast dedication to the ideas stated earlier resonates deeply with Ghana, a nation that continues to uphold the foundations of democracy and peace in our region. The recognition of Ghana's position on global matters, including our stance at the United Nations, reflects Ghana's unwavering belief in sovereignty, territorial integrity, and international law. We acknowledge Denmark's new strategy for enhanced engagement with African unions, which further solidifies the foundation laid so far for equal partnerships. Denmark's dedication to equal partnerships is reflected in every facet of our cooperation. We've made progress together, be it in technical collaboration with the maritime sector, such as the donation of a full mission bridge simulator to the Ghana Navy, urban water management, climate initiatives, or commercial engagements demonstrate the strength of our cooperation. As we reflect on the past 5 years of your dedicated service, meaningful cooperation, and friendships built through your tenure, we are happy to note that you championed initiatives that strengthened bilateral relationship, fostered economic and cultural exchanges, and deepened mutual understanding between our nations. I thus extend my heartfelt gratitude to you and the contributions made and the legacy of our partnerships created today and beyond.
So right after Denmark, we are going to Germany. It seems like we will be traveling a lot, right? So we are talking about the German embassy right here in Ghana. German embassy commemorates 836th anniversary of Port of Hamburg, and we were there with our cameras. In a cultural evening filled with music and connection, the German embassy right here in Ghana under Ambassador Daniel Krall celebrated 836 years of the Port of Hamburg. Now, the event highlighted the importance of strengthening economic ties and also expanding collaborative opportunities between Germany and Ghana.
Occasion to celebrate relations between Ghana and Germany and relations between Ghana and my hometown Hamburg in particular. As you may know, Hamburg has been the destination for many Ghanaians who went to find their luck, especially starting in the 60s and 70s. You might recall that these people who then came back after a while were called the Burgers, and this relates to Hamburg. This is where the term comes from, at least that's the story I was told in Kumasi. So that is one very strong relation between Ghana and Hamburg. And you might also be aware that Burger Heilath was designed by Ghanaian musicians together with sound engineers in Germany, also including in Hamburg. So that's another very strong cultural link between Ghana and Hamburg. But most importantly, we have reasons to celebrate, and that are the recent trade figures, which I just received about the first quarter. And this year, we have very promising numbers in both directions. German exports to Ghana increased in the first quarter by almost 40%, and exports from Ghana to Germany increased even further. They increased by 50% compared to the numbers in the first quarter. So that's very, very encouraging. That is partly, of course, related to high cocoa prices and high gold prices. But I believe that I even notice that there are more Audis, more BMWs, more Mercedes-Benz, more Volkswagen running on Ghanaian street these days. And that is also reflected in the trade figures because the number of exports from the car industries have increased significantly. So, and we want to celebrate these good numbers, and we want, of course, to help to foster future trade between our two nations, and so we invite the important business people, the business community, for a network event to celebrate the 36th anniversary of the Port of
It's the Rap Doctor in the building. Say I'm the best rapper alive. I guess Record Germany, I feel like you're Schengen. But I'm for more dear travel invitation. Only bank statements with your imitation. Over for Berlin, Hamburg, we are West in Norway. Who could do German and Baboni, this in Norway. What's somewhere you go? What's somewhere you go? Obey you any room. What's your shiny dome? Fried rice, gordons, pavetta, put in the bottom. Ushana, King of Vino, Pimpini, Papa being a gem. Oh, bad you win one, you want, and one, and a power gem.
Did I mention that also commemorated the end of tenure for the German ambassador to Ghana? Sad, all of them are leaving, and of course very soon we will be receiving new high commissioners and ambassadors. Now, away from Germany, let's do Morocco, and we have some good news to share. Ghana has signed a visa-free travel deal with Morocco, and that is making headlines. Ghana and Morocco have signed a visa-free travel agreement to enhance trade, tourism, and diplomatic relations. Now, the announcement came after a 2-day visit to Morocco by Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, signaling a significant step toward deeper bilateral cooperation between Ghana and Morocco. From all of that, let's shift our attention to South Africa, where we were in South Africa for a whole week to experience tourism in South Africa. So it's on the back of Africa's Travel Indaba, the 2025 edition. And we had all the events covered, and we will be running series of documentaries on diplomatic affairs every Saturday, just to let you know what tourism is like when it comes to South Africa and how Africa can align policies in actually building on tourism for economic development. Now, at the Africa Travel Indaba in Durban, South Africa, Ghanaian journalist Anita Ekufu shared insights on how African countries can emulate South Africa's tourism model to boost their economies. The conversation emphasized innovation, cross-border partnerships, and storytelling to drive sustainable tourism across the continent. Hello there, you're welcome to the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, diplomatic affairs. My name is Harriet Nati. The show airs on the platforms of Pan-African Television and of course on our social media platforms as well. So you can always catch up with us on Facebook or YouTube if you want to know what is happening when it comes to issues pertaining to diplomacy and international relations. Today it's all about tourism. So we are looking at tourism diplomacy. We are talking about South Africa's decision or initiative to introduce a platform that would project tourism on the African continent. This is far beyond the interests of the South African government. It goes to also provide the opportunity for other African countries. So this is in the interest of Pan-Africanism, and we are talking about African diplomacy. I have with me a friend and a colleague as well who is in the industry, the media industry. She's one of the known faces on TV back home. She works with Media General, TV3, and she is also on this tour. I would want to find out from her perspective, her experience so far. Did you have enough sleep?
Yeah, we've been on the move constantly, and so sleep for now, we're not thinking about that. Probably when we get to Ghana, we'll get enough sleep. So for now, it's back to back, enjoyment and touring, basically.
Enjoyment and touring, basically. Let's talk about, first and foremost, I would want us to talk about the initiative by the South African government in promoting not just South African tourism, but then the continent's tourism or continent's agenda regarding using tourism to actually build our continent.
I think it's a great initiative, and right from the time we arrived and we went through the Africa's Travel Indaba, I kept telling myself that it's the intentionality. You can see that right from the airport, the branding, the marketing. I mean, everything is just well thought through and seamlessly executed, and you could see that they are big on tourism, they are big on projecting their country, and it's something every single country, even for the ones that are far advanced, should be learning from, because if you do not promote your own, nobody is going to do it for you. And so they are not even just putting it together right here for just South Africans. They've brought people from different countries. I mean, several people, hundreds of people, and the experience has been great.
The experience has been great. You talked about the intentionality. I tell you what, when it comes to being intentional, this in the South African government's intentionality, for me, it's the fact that they have recognized the need for African journalists to be a part of this agenda in telling the story. Most of the time, we don't really see this. The media is sidelined when it comes to things like this, but they have been consistent. Every now and then they have included African journalists, not just Ghanaians. We've seen journalists from other countries as well. I met this journalist from Brazil, and I was like, what? And she expressed a lot of excitement at the fact that she is here to experience Africa for herself. What does this really mean when it comes to going forward as a continent, telling our own story through our journalists?
It's a big plus for South Africa, because this is my second time here, and it's an improvement on what I experienced in 2022. And you could see that it's a blend of different worlds. So they're getting a bit of the media in terms of journalists, they're getting travel bloggers, people who are into hard news, like proper news people, and they're trying to cut across all the divides when it comes to the media, and that is a big plus. I think it's great because it helps in telling our stories from different angles. So you have the travel vloggers who come and tell it from the lifestyle perspective, the hotels they have, the beautiful tourist attraction sites, and you have the journalists as well who are looking at it from a different angle and telling it as it is. And so if it's good, we're going to talk about it. If it's not good, we're going to talk about it. We're projecting the highlights, obviously, but we're looking at making sure that it's not looking all rosy. We're letting people know what exactly it is on the ground. And so far, it's been good. I can't say that we've had any negatives that we talk about. Personally, for me, you know where we're coming from. We love our food very spicy and very hot. That is the only thing that I've been struggling with. But on the other, I think the food is great as well. And these are all parts of the stories they are trying to tell, from their food to their culture to their tourist sites, which are beautiful. It's excellent.
It's excellent. Anita, thank you so much for speaking to us. So up next is EU in the Spotlight.
Good morning, and a very warm welcome to the 2025 Ghana EU Business Forum. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we receive our guest of honor, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana.
Ago. Welcome to the conversation that has become commitment. We're doing it through a global gateway, through Ghana and Europe.
The forum continues to represent the deepening of ties between Ghana and the EU, not just as political allies or development partners, but as genuine collaborators in the shared quest for inclusive economic transformation, sustainable industrialization, and mutual prosperity.
with this gathering is testament to the strength of the partnership that the EU and Ghana hold together. I think this is really the objective we will be pursuing all together during those 2 days and far beyond. And we would see this business forum as part of the joint cooperation to increase the macroeconomic stability and further economic development of the country.
Today, it's fair to say that it's a great gesture that we have both undertaken from the European Union and the Ghanaian side to create a space, possibly to create more jobs and to support growth and to diversify the economy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been an intense, impactful, memorable 2 days, and we're so grateful that you've been part of the 2025 Ghana EU Business Forum. Thank you so much, EU Ghana Business Forum 2025. We appreciate you so much.
Right, thank you so much for spending your time with us. We appreciate it so much. My name is Harriet Nati. The show is Diplomatic Affairs. This is where we draw the curtain on today's production. I'll see you same time next week. Enjoy the rest of our programs.